What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's CraftsByAliyah. This is Aliyah, and the stitches you're gonna need for today is a double crochet and a single crochet, and what you'll need is a 5mm hook and some scissors. So for this beanie today, I just had some extra scrap yarn laying around. If you guys want to check out my scrap yarn video, I'll leave a link up in the top and below in the description. So I'm gonna grab my 5mm hook today, and you're gonna need a total of 8 single crochet. I decided to do mine in a foundation single crochet stitch, is which I just learned how to do a foundation single crochet. So I did mine like that, and I did a total of 8. But you can do a chain 9 and then put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook for a total of 8 single crochet for your first row, if that's how you want to do it. But either way, you could do a chain or you could do the foundation stitch like I did. There's plenty of tutorials to teach you how to do the foundation stitch. It's really easy, actually. So yeah, so you need a total of 8. So I got my 8 single crochets, and then I'm gonna chain 1 and turn my work. And now we're going to be working some single crochets in the back loop only. So you're gonna go in that back loop, not both loops, just one right there. You're gonna go all the way down for 8 single crochet in the back loops only. We're doing the band of the hat. We're working the hat from the bottom up, just so you guys know, from the bottom up. Excuse me. So once again, I'm just showing you guys single crochets in the back loops only. And you're just gonna keep going so it's long enough to fit around your head. I did mine a little bit big, a little bit more loose, because I don't want it to be too tight on my head. But yeah, just keep going. You can measure your head, or you could just put it around your head like I did to see how long you want it to be, or if you're doing it on somebody else's measurements, work perfect. And then you're just going to I just connected mine together with single crochet. I just put it together, make sure it's not twisted, and I just go through like this. I didn't cut my yarn or anything like that. I'm just connecting with single crochet. You could do yours with slip stitches or however method is most comfortable for you. Just make sure it's lined up and that it's even. Sorry, I got the sniffles, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So I like the way it looks. You can barely tell on the other side, but we're gonna be working this hat from the inside out, just so you guys know. The part we're working on right now is the outside. The part facing you is the outside. So yeah, so now we're gonna do chain 1 and do some single crochets around the border of our brim. That's what it's called, the brim of the hat. Around the brim of the hat, put single crochets. It doesn't really matter where you put it, just make sure that they're evenly spaced and that they're not too close together or too far apart. You want to make sure that it's evenly spaced. There's not really any perfect way to do it. So when I get back around to the end, I'm gonna slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 3 like this. And then now we're going to double crochet. So chain 3, the first one counts as a double crochet, and then continue double crocheting all the way around until you get to the beginning of your stitch of your round. Whew. So yes, we're at the beginning now. So this would be round number 1, and we're connecting with a slip stitch, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. When you're working in a round, make sure you turn your work always. Fun fact. So now we're just going to continue doing double crochets for 2 more rows. So for a total of 3 rows, you should have your double crochets just like this. Now at the end of this 3rd row, I decided to change my yarn. If you want to keep going with the same yarn, that's perfectly fine. But I just wanted to do mine different colors because I wanted to try to use up some of the scrap yarn I got laying around. So this is I'm just showing you guys how I attach my yarn when I'm changing colors. I attach with a slip stitch. You could really attach it anywhere you want, doesn't really matter. And I anchor mine down with a single crochet, and then I chain 2, so that counts as basically a chain 3, and that's my first double crochet. And now I'm gonna go ahead and continue double crocheting, and I'm gonna double crochet over my loose ends, just like this, just to make it easier on myself. And for this round number 4, we're going to be decreasing on this round. So I'm going to show you in a second how I decrease. So I just keep on double crocheting around. It doesn't really matter where you decrease at. Just make sure that you're going to decrease by 2 each round for each following round after this. You're going to decrease 2 stitches on each round. So I double crochet 2 together like this. It doesn't really matter where. And then I put my work, hold on, I kept on going. So I just decreased, as you guys can see. And I put my work down, and I'm gonna make sure that I decrease on the other side of my hat around the same area. So right over there, that's where I'm gonna decrease again at. And my little kitty, she's trying to make a cameo. So yeah, you guys are gonna continue to decrease by 2 for each row for the next 6 rows. So you should have a total of 9 rows when you're all done, and 6 rows should be decrease rows. And you should decrease by 2 on each row. Try not to decrease in the same spot on each row. Try to like mix it up, but make sure that they're evenly spaced apart. If you guys have any questions, you know, comment down below. So yes, at the end of my 9th row, and I had changed my color every 3 colors, and I cut my yarn around 2 feet long. Make sure it's really long, not too long, but you know, long enough. And I'm going to show you how I close my hat up. So I just weave this about 2 feet yarn. I cut my work, but I cut the yarn like 2 feet long. And I take it and I weave it in and out of the stitches. I'm just showing you how I do it right now. It's kind of a little bit hard to explain. It's better if you just watch. But see how I just put my yarn in and out. You go in and out. Never go around the stitch. Never. Make sure that that long yarn doesn't go on top. Make sure, because that'll mess it up. You want to go in and out, in and out. So if you just watch real closely, you can see what I mean. The more experienced crocheters should already know what I'm doing. It's kind of like how you make a drawstring for like shorts or a skirt or something like that. If you're trying to make something, you know, pull a little tight, you want to go in and out, not around, in and out. And if you have any questions, you know, feel free to comment. And then I take that string, and it's my favorite part of my hat, is I just pull it really tight, really, really tight. And that closes up the top of my hat. And that's just a really cool thing I just came up with. I'm sure other people do it, but that's just the way I like to do it. And this is what it should look like now. Mine didn't close up all the way tight, tight, tight. And even if yours does close up all the way really tight, I just like to tie some knots at the top. I'll just show you how I did it to make sure that I close it up as tight as possible. It don't have to be like crazy super duper tight, but I'm gonna close it up real nice, as close as possible. So I just tie some knots here at the top. And mind you, this is the part that you're looking at is the inside of the hat, so it really don't have to be too pretty. Honestly, you won't be able to tell when you finish the hat that it's a little bit janky, but you know. Excuse me. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to make the pom-pom. I take my yarn and I just wrap it around my hand a bunch of times. Like, just keep going until you like the thickness you want it to be. If you guys want a number, wrap it around your hand like 100 to 150 times, or like around 200 times. I just kept going and going until it was pretty thick. And try not to wrap it too tight, because you cut off the circulation. And then you're going to take another piece of yarn, a long piece of yarn, and lay it down underneath you. So you take a piece of yarn and you lay it down underneath you. And after you finish wrapping the yarn around your hand, you take it off and you put it on top of the yarn that you laid down like this. So that yarn underneath should be about 1 foot long. And then I take the yarn and I tie it around that ball of yarn that I just made like this. And try to make sure it's pretty even in the middle. You want to be really careful on this part, because you don't want your pom-pom looking too crazy. Now it's gonna look a little like, it's gonna look handmade, you know. It's not gonna be perfect with this method, but you know, make sure it's in the center. And I tie it around, I double tie it, triple tie it, make sure that it's real nice and tight, just like this. I'm trying to do this voiceover in one take, y'all. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now you're just gonna go ahead and cut those loops that you made when you tied it. You made some loops. So now you're just gonna make sure you go around and cut all of those loops. Make sure you, some strings will fall out, you know, that's fine. That's perfectly normal. Don't be worried if like some of your strands come out and stuff. It's perfectly normal. So you're just gonna keep going and keep cutting until you cut all those loops. Make sure there's no loops left when you finish. And then I'm just trimming it a little bit to make it a perfect spear. I honestly did mine pretty messy. I don't mind mine being that messy because, you know, it is handmade. Like, it don't have to be perfect. But yeah, so now I'm gonna show y'all how I attach my pom-pom. So I turned my hat the right side. So now this is the correct side the hat is supposed to be. And I take, there should be those really long pieces of yarn that you tied your pom-pom with. You're gonna put your hook on the inside of your hat and stick it through like this in the middle. And you're gonna take one of those strands, remember that long strand you laid down and tied the pom-pom with originally? You're gonna take that string and pull it through the hat to the inside, just like this. And then turn your hat back inside out. And then you remember that strand you used to pull your hat, to close your hat? You're gonna use that strand and the strand you just pulled through from your pom-pom, and you're gonna tie those together like crazy. Like, tie them together like 4 or 5 times. Like, just keep tying them, keep tying them. You want it to make sure it's really tight and then it's almost like a knot, you know, like that. So then you're gonna pull the other strand through that you used to tie your pom-pom with. Now you want to make sure you pull it through really close to the center. Make sure it's really close to the center and that it's not too far down, because then your pom-pom will look crazy. Make sure you pull the extra strands through to the center. Now I actually made a mistake. I like pulled a random string through. I don't know what I was doing, but it should only be 3 strings in the middle of your hat when you see, I don't know what I was doing, but it should only be 3 strings in the middle of your hat when you're done. And I just kept tying them together just to secure my pom-pom down really good. I just like tied all the strings together and then I cut them not too close to the knot because I don't want it to come undone. And you don't have to worry about weaving it in because it's the middle of your hat, you know, nobody gonna see that. But yeah, I'm all done, and I put it on when I was finished. I was so happy. Like, isn't this cute, y'all? I love it so much. And that's it. That's my easy, simple beanie for y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video. It helps me out so much. Follow me on Instagram, you guys, and follow my online shop where I sell crochet clothes and things like that. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye.